How did I not know that this was a thing? How did I not know? I don't want to get too hyped. I'll talk about that later. But Fallout Miami. This is a fan mod project that is being made by the same guy who made a lot of the better series for Fallout 4. They're pretty popular mods. If you know about them, they kind of take things that are very underwhelming, which is much of what's in the game, and makes them better, enhances them, adds things to them. And his name is Micah999. He's making this Fallout Miami open. I don't know why I have to say open world, like that's kind of part and part with Fallout, but it's the Miami Wasteland. He's going into it, and this looks good, but it's very, very, very early in the production. You can tell there's not a lot to go off of this. There are a few screenshots exemplifying a couple of the areas in the game, and also I want to start off with this. I'm all over the place right now, but the fact that there are going to be vehicles in this game. Now, I used to think this, and I'm sure a lot of people think this, that cars aren't a thing in Fallout, but they have been, especially in tactics, and it's just within the written lore, if you want to get into that. There are vehicles that have appeared throughout the Wasteland. It just never happens in Bethesda's games, or in Obsidian's game, for that matter. I guess the engine maybe just isn't entirely well built for it, but we're seeing in New Vegas with the huge Frontier mod that's coming out that there are vehicles in that. Specifically, I'm speaking on ground vehicles. We've seen a lot of vertibirds throughout the Fallout games, but now we're getting into automobiles, and they're some really cool, almost Mad Max-esque, just whipped together Fallout-styled cars. And they're not completely ripped from Mad Max. Mad Max cars look, some of them even kind of sleek and some put together, but these look like completely makeshift, just like you took some sort of a body of a car and started throwing stuff on it, and it just goes together. And even in some cases, it's almost like a construction vehicle, a digger, whatever, what have you. All sorts of stuff, maybe sort like everything. Think of anything, tractors, all that sort of stuff. Just mesh it together, start throwing stuff into little pieces, and you have at it. And it really keeps that Fallout style. Now, Miami, I like the style. It's almost like, I've never played the game, but Hotline Miami seems to have this like 80s vibe going on to it. And the Fallout game is really strictly kind of centered in the 50s to 60s, but I think the 80s vibe for Miami, which is almost what I'm getting a little bit of a vibe from, is awesome. And especially because it's a mod, I feel like there's more free reign to have, and going off of the 80s styled cars and everything like that, it could just really still keep that Fallout feel of being, you know, before our current modern times, but also meshing in that sci-fi that they tie in so well. So as long as it keeps that, I don't think we need to necessarily stay in the 50s and early 60s, really. I think it's perfectly fine for us to go into the 80s if the area that it's known for, its highlights of the past, are in a different decade. And the 80s just suits Miami way too well. So, like I said, this is in really early development, but a faction that has been released and sort of announced and explained is the Nuclear Patriots. And it seems like this faction is really doubling down on the automobile side of things, the whole car aspect that is coming to this mod. So these guys kind of remind me of the Hot Rod guys. I don't even remember the name, the Atomic Cats or whatever from Fallout 4, the guys who were obsessed with the look of their power armor. It seems like this mod is really expanding off of that kind of vibe, like that greaser almost. Just care about their automobiles, tune that thing up and have at it. I think that's what these guys are really largely based off. They're known as the Nuclear Patriots. I'm not going to read you off the lore. I think you can do that for yourself. It's right there on the page. I'll have the link in the description. It's really interesting to look at what they're kind of about and what the direction we're going with is. It's hard to get a idea of their role in the mod because there are no other ones to contrast them off of yet to read about, but just if you want that quick look at what's going on and what the one faction that is put out yet is about, then you can do that. I'm really into this. I like that they're adding the whole car aspect. I mean, if there's a place for this kind of thing to be tested out in, it's a mod, right? To see where they can go with cars in the franchise and really have your own like mobile base, because that's always an issue I've had with Fallout, and clearly everyone else has, is the player homes. Everyone's always looking for that perfect player home and where you want to put it with every Bethesda game. But if you had a car to keep storage in, I have a feeling that most player homes just would be purely for aesthetic and just to look at, but no one would ever actually visit. Whereas if you had like a functional car to really carry all your equipment in and kind of have as a home base as you travel around, it would be perfect. So if this goes well, I don't see a reason that it couldn't be implemented into the actual game. There are car mods out there for New Vegas and for Fallout 4, and I mean, no disrespect with the mod authors that make those, but the engine just doesn't seem particularly built for it. Or I'm not sure, I'm not a modder, but they're very stiff, and you sort of move as you would as a player, but just in kind of a box or a car, and you move forward and backward. Your player doesn't actually seem like he's driving anything. It seems like he hopped on top of a magical carpet and just started moving back and forth. If this changes that, and it seems like we have functional vehicles that look pleasing while they're doing it and sort of have a legitimate function, then this could be awesome. And it could really change a lot of modding for Fallout. But, and there's a huge but on all of this, and this goes for every single fan project out there that I have to say to everyone, because I've seen 1,000,001 fan projects that just start to fall under or take a really long time to get done. And that's not to discredit them, it's just a fact of the matter that these are really passionate people, but in small amounts, who are trying to create something really big. It's not bad at all inherently, but what ends up happening a lot of the time is the mods fall through, or they do take an extremely long amount of time. I covered Fallout Lone Star months and months ago on my channel, and I'm still hyped about that mod, but honestly I have no idea what's going on with the production of it or the development at all. So you have to keep that in mind, is that it may never happen. Would I like it to? Of course. And that's not to discredit the mod authors in any way or to say anything bad about them. I'm grateful for this kind of stuff, but the fact of the matter is, it's not a job. You don't make money really from doing this kind of stuff. It's completely out of their own free will. So you can't, bet your life on all of these happening. So it's good to kind of temper your hype and just look into it and get excited about it a little and have fun with it, because this is cool to kind of get involved in and look at. But in reality, we have to keep our expectations in check. So that's Fallout Miami. It's a thing. I had no idea. It kind of excites me to see a big project. Another one thrown into the mix of all the big Bethesda title mod projects that are going on. It's such a cool thing. What other community has games that release and then a group of people go out and start making more games within those games? That's what we have. Be proud of that. And on top of everything, I was speaking on money kind of earlier. There is a donation button on the website. I will leave a link to the Fallout Miami website in the description. Be sure to check it out and look at it, because this is my entire source. So if you don't want to watch the video, it's down there. But I said this at the end, so you still watch the video anyway. Sorry. Alright. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you like the topic. If you didn't, if you don't like it, just hit the thumbs down button. That's fine too. Lets me know. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think on Fallout Miami. And what other places do you want to see mods bring to the world? We have Fallout Lone Star in the Texas area, Texas, New Mexico. I'm pretty sure it's just Texas. In the Texas area. But other than that, where do you want to go? Or just for any Fallout game for that matter, because this is kind of like a huge thing that's going on right now, is where is Fallout going next? Who knows? New Vegas too, maybe. I don't know. Alright. Goodbye.